It is really wonderful to be welcome in 2025, in spite of the fact that we have the sense of this year bringing more chaos and violence across our planet and also in our own country. But one of the things that's important to remember is the words that come from one of our wonderful poets, David White, that as we reflect on how we want to embrace our future, we need to start close in. Don't take the second step or the third step. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way of starting the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear, listening to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. I think it's so very important for us to be people who do understand how we're grounded and where that sense of self comes from. And as we begin to work in all of our efforts to bring greater peace and tranquility to this planet and to our country, we need to make sure that we have it ourselves. If we don't have it ourselves, we don't have anything to share. And so I'm wanting to think about changing some of my own ways of being in the world and practicing new ways to be. And one of those things has to do with the practice of generosity. I believe that the practice of generosity and kindness can bring us a kind of energy that can help us very much subvert some of the meanness and the unkindness that we see floating across our land in language and the rhetoric of the politicians and just in the sense of disconnection that we have from one another. And of course, I believe in activism, and I think activism is critical in the political arena. But if you're an activist without a connection to your soul, your activism is going to be incredibly hollow. So as we move forward into these new grounds that the future will bring to us, it is important for us to make sure we know where we stand and what is at the core of ourselves. As Dr. Vincent Harding used to talk about, we are needing to build up a new world. And in order to do that, we have to be a people who have new dreams, new energy, new imagination, and a new capacity to be courageous and do the things that need to be done. And being generous can really shift some of our energy and move us more toward thinking about an abundant universe that is able to feed us all, take care of us all, bear us all, if we learn how to be one another's brother, sister, family member, if we learn how to be people that really do care about one another, we can be ready to stem the tide of meanness, of greed, and all of the ways that people work to be sources of divisiveness rather than sources of community. So as we move now from Dr. King's birthday and into the new administration and into the future, let us all recommit ourselves to the journey of being vigilant in our courage, in our generosity, in our kindness, and let us start with ourselves. Let us start being that way with ourselves. Let us start being that way with every person who crosses our paths. Let us be light. Let us be the light that shines so bright and understands that the darkness cannot put it out. I hope you will join me in being generous and kind and courageous and understanding that the future is not ours to worry about so much as what we need to be concerned about is the quality of life that we bring to each day. And as we do that, we will build a world that is sustainable. May peace and grace and courage accompany us as we go forward.